Roblox UGC is a disaster. The UGC catalog is a nightmarish wasteland filled with horrible monstrosities, mindless plagiarism, and is the source of the worst and most inappropriate things on the platform. But it wasn't always that way. So what made it into the wreck that it currently is? Hello, this is the Questing Wolf. I'm here to explain the unfortunate consequences that led to the downfall of Roblox UGC, and the one move that may have doomed it forever. To begin with, many Robloxians agree that this is a deep-seated problem that's been slowly eating away at Roblox's integrity for years.
It's just gotten so scummy nowadays.
It was so much better in the good old days.
I still don't know what that is, so why have you been asking me about this for the past 15 minutes? And could you please get out of my house?
But what could have caused this in the first place? Part 1. Genesis. Roblox UGC, which stands for User Generated Content, was officially released to the player base on August 15th, 2019. It was a revolutionary move for the platform, as it allowed for the creation of accessories that stemmed from the imagination of an entire community. However, for the time being, only those that got accepted to the UGC program and given permission by Roblox could create items. This new update allowed many creative people to share their hard work with the community, and maybe even make a profit off of their products. UGC marked the start of a whole new era for the platform, and allowed for greater freedom towards users being able to purchase items that they desired. As well as satisfying the needs of players looking for some new creative bling, it allowed Roblox officials to step back and let the creators do all the work, without a group of middle-aged developers trying to appeal to a much younger generation. While there were admittedly ne'er-do-wells that tried to sell inappropriate items under the radar, moderators were quick to eliminate the problems. These incidents were few and far between to begin with. Back then, I was still an innocent little fella, only concerned about having fun with my friends. This time period, which I have many fond memories of, was a Robloxian utopia, a nearly perfect moment when there's just the right balance between game development and the platform's growth. But unbeknownst to me and many others, cracks were beginning to form deep below Roblox's surface. The problem? Moderation. It is well known that moderation is one of Roblox's biggest issues, but up until that point, it had just been a nuisance to people, with the occasional bans being doled out for completely random reasons. One such example is the Yes incident. On December 5th, 2017, the Roblox YouTuber Flamingo posted a video titled Banned from Roblox for a really weird reason.
Banned for 3 days. Our content monitors have determined that your behavior at Roblox has been in violation of our terms of service. We will terminate your account if you do not abide by the rules. Reason number 3, harassment. Offensive item, yes. Offensive item, yes. What?
This weird reason turned out to be a historic example of Roblox's eventual moderative downfall. Roblox was beginning to crumble from the inside, which leads us into the next chapter of UGC's chaotic history. Part 2. Fracture. While the UGC program may have been a game changer for Roblox, one critical factor turned it from an unimaginable dream into their worst nightmare. That being that Roblox staff simply weren't prepared for everything that was getting thrown their way. As they kept removing more and more inappropriate items, a greater number popped up in their place, until it became too much to handle. The reason for this was because while it may have been easier to handle if they only had to moderate accessories, they also had to control clothing items, which can be made by anyone on Roblox. Now, while I love that Roblox allows its users to do this, as I have made a few clothing items myself, which you should buy by the way, I've seen many inappropriate items in my time, and it seemed that they were always getting smarter at sneaking the clothing items past moderation. By wrapping the offensive items between different parts of the character to appear regular on the template, there's a mini black market created around groups selling these offensive items. As well as this, there was an event occurring in the shirt catalog that very closely mirrored what is happening today. Just as is occurring now, many copy and paste items were being produced at an alarming rate, and forced Roblox to focus on solutions to this problem. This meant that eventually, more and more interesting items started to seep into the accessories page. While these are not all bad, such as the extremely uncanny realistic faces which many people, including me, bought, there were quite a few bad ones that came about. Fortunately, the restrictions then were tough enough that the most that came through consisted mostly of vaguely inappropriate items, but still require a lot of mosaic blur to stop me from getting demonetized. Thankfully, the majority of the items were still creative and showed that as a whole, Roblox seemed like a relatively reliable and safe place to be. But things didn't stop here. This was all about to change, as the pandemic brought a surge of unruly characters that would leech onto the platform in the years to come. Part 3. Corruption. As Roblox moderators continued to lose their grip on the UGC catalog, they relentlessly continued to push new features, with the hope that the current disaster would blow over. However, ignoring the issue made it worse, especially after they implemented an experimental new feature. On March 7th, 2022, layered clothing was rolled out, which was to be a step towards realism on the platform. As UGC creators started to make their own clothing, there was a really funny time period in which characters that equipped certain combinations of items could make giant avatars and even straight up break games. While hilarious to watch,
I've had a good chuckle over that one.
it ruined a lot of people's experiences on Roblox, and was soon patched. 2023 marked the beginning of the end for Roblox UGC, and was also when I became aware of everything going on in the catalog through Flamingo's newest videos. It seemed that every week, more and more items are being created, and every time they got exponentially worse. I watched the UGC page eventually become a mess of copyright infringing material, and I could tell that it was going completely downhill. Fortunately, there are some bright lights in this sea of scummy creations. On August 17th, 2023, one of the most well-known avatar bundles was created, Billy. Inspired by the popular memes circulating online, this Stickman character exploded in popularity because of its radical appearance compared to the normal blocky characters of before. The best part? The creator was an absolute Chad and made it free, despite being initially taken down due to a lack of hitbox space. It was made a bit wider and has stayed in Roblox since. However, not everyone was as nice. One example of which is the creator Headpets, who pains me even to talk about. They created one of the most controversial items on Roblox, called the Skyscraper Hedrow. Many people caught on to its similarity to two very specific buildings that used to be in New York, and started a riot online about how messed up the item was. Headpets then defended their actions, explaining that people should be allowed to roleplay as events like these. Despite the immense, and to be quite frank, deserved public backlash, the UGC creator escaped punishment with no more than a slap on the wrist and the removal of the item, and is now turned into an unethical sweatshop of copies in a desperate attempt to take people's hard-earned Robux. Time and time again, Roblox officials have turned a blind eye to creators like these, as the company makes more money off the people that buy their products than if they ban them. As the page became overrun with greed and unethical practices, one large issue became prevalent: limited item copying. People found that there was a huge business if they could recreate classic limited items such as the Domini and Sparkle Time fedoras and sell them for a much lower price to those who did not have millions of Robux lying around to buy the real things. By creating the items in unrecognizable pieces that can be worn together to look like the real thing, these creators have and continue to make tens of thousands of Robux off of their devious activities. As 2023 came to a close and the new year started, Roblox did something unimaginable. To find out what truly happened, I needed to get to the bottom of this. What did you do to Roblox UGC? God damn. It turns out that Roblox's most revolutionary move may have very well cost them their company. Part 4. Fallout. April 15th, 2024. Roblox's biggest mistake. In a desperate attempt to appease the unruly mass of users and to possibly boost their revenue, Roblox UGC was made public. The floodgates surged open, and with nothing to stop anyone from making items except for a measly 750 Robux upload fee, moderators were helpless in curbing the tide of bad items flooding the already infested catalog. There was no longer anything to stop people from uploading copy after copy of the same item, and it soon turned into a mess that will inevitably shape the platform forever. While creators used to have to bypass products containing popular characters by making up a fake but similar name, which is always really funny to see, Roblox is now simply too overwhelmed to care about any of it. For example, you can find countless Peter Griffins on the catalog, with many variations that don't even need to sneak by moderation anymore. It doesn't take long to search around and find absolutely insane items, such as entire queso costumes and the faces of people re-uploaded for the funnies. Now these can get a bit dicey, especially the latter, as the people whose faces are stolen receive no compensation from it, and the items distract people from the many good UGCs still out there. While the percentage is sadly small, there are many creative people out there using the limited restrictions to do good. For example, one day I was fortunate enough to stumble upon the holy grail of avatar items, the Half-Life Scientist. This avatar model, which resembles an NPC from the hit 1998 game Half-Life, was the best thing I've seen on the platform, and as someone who loves this game so much that I actually dressed up as the character for a video, I thought it was amazing. I was able to buy and become this character for an insanely low amount of Robux, and I was overjoyed at how well it functioned and appeared like the real deal. As I began to play more Roblox, I met an amazing group of people dressed as characters from games made by the same studio as Half-Life, and many others too. Without Roblox UGC going public, this would never have come to the platform. The main problem is that there's just so much junk that creative items are washed away, replaced by soulless and inappropriate accessories. Roblox's Discovered page is littered with games dedicated to collecting items for certain avatar styles, often with accessories and outfits that are completely inappropriate for Roblox. Seeing these games around is not uncommon, and their numbers continue to grow as the demand for shocking avatars continues to be a growing concern. For example, for reasons I cannot fathom, there are now so many of these avatar games right on Roblox's homepage that make me wonder why people use them, especially after I caught a friend in one. Searching or clicking on anything in the UGC catalog can send you down a fashion rabbit hole, as more and more items are created to meet the demand for new and trendy items. For example, my relevant page is covered with a certain popular character that should never have set foot on Roblox. Despite me never clicking on anything to do with it, I'm forced to see the numerous items created to satisfy the people that decide to make this their avatar, and it's still here every time I check, and it never leaves. Get it off, get it off, get it off, get it off. Unfortunately, there's just so much bad stuff circulating on the catalog that it looks like it may very well be doomed forever. So is this the end of Roblox UGC? As time goes by, the platform has continued to implement new policies, such as the heavily controversial dynamic price floor, which caused many UGC items to increase in price as their staff tries to mimic an actual economy. But while it may appear like Roblox is on a slippery slope towards complete anarchy, I believe that they may still have a chance at regaining their foothold in this out-of-control situation. Maybe if they focused more on moderation instead of adding new, irrelevant features, which they tend to do a lot, a crackdown on the creators of the bad items could help define the limits of right and wrong for avatar accessories. This has worked in the past, with Roblox adding a 5 Robux paywall to creating clothing to stop the thousands of copied items being made every day. By focusing more of their corporate energy towards cleaning up their catalog to better the experience of their player base, it will help Roblox be better off in the long run. But let's face it, they're not going to do this. Instead, it's up to us to help David Baszucki and the other Roblox higher-ups know that this is an issue that can't be stopped without their help. Because deep down, Roblox is not the same game anymore. While there are so many negative things that have happened over the years, the platform's founders are still continuing to move in an innovative direction, such as adding voice chat and pretty freaky face tracking. Who knows, maybe in a few years, with enough influence from the community, maybe the UGC program can be changed for the better, restoring it back to how it was during the good old days. Hello, I'm back just to say that I hope you enjoyed this video. This style of video is always super fun and a lot of work to make. It also came at the tragic loss of my laptop halfway through this project, so if you enjoyed this mini documentary, please feel free to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for Let's Plays of some up-and-coming Roblox games, as well as more like the one you just watched. That's all, and goodbye!